Hey everybody, it is your girl here, Vapor Baby. So we're going to actually go through a couple of things that a lot of people have kind of been asking me here and there, and this probably will help out anybody who's currently just coming back into Vesteria at level 30 and have no idea where to go to get some experience points, which is totally understandable because when I came back as a level 30 warrior, I had absolutely no idea where to go and where to start. So for anybody who's just joining Vesteria for the very first time in a couple of months, welcome back. The game has changed a lot. So we're gonna go ahead and get started with this. So when you're coming back as a level 30 warrior, mage, or hunter, you're kind of going to be greeted with a new interface and just new areas that you have no idea how to get to. So we're going to go and just kind of figure out where the best places are for you to go ahead and XP train. And for anybody else who's just kind of like getting up to level 30 and want to go places to like get more experience points for, you know, your better bang for your buck, whatever that saying is, wherever you can go that will utilize getting more XP quicker. Hopefully this will help you guys out. So we're going to be going to Porta Fidelio, however you pronounce this area, and we're going to be heading over to a certain section that costs money to go to. So first things first, if you guys are literally coming back into the game as a level 30 character, make sure you have a lot of money beforehand coming to this section here. And of course, you're well equipped with items that you're going to be needing, such as health potions, mana potions, and make sure you bring a stone with you to teleport back to Nilgarth or any other sanction that you want to go back to, because you're going to have to literally wait like 30-40 minutes for a boat to come back, and you don't want to wait that long, honestly. So you're gonna talk to this guy over here, and every 20 minutes or so this boat will pop up. So once this boat pops up, make sure that you stay on the boat and don't fiddle faddle with anything on the boat that will make you jump off the boat, because if you jump off, then you will not be allowed back onto the boat. And if you stay on the boat, if the boat is still like this, you can jump in and out of it. That's totally fine. But once the boat is leaving, you kind of don't want to do that, because once the boat's moving and like going through the second phase, you jump off of it, you get teleported back, and you lose your ticket. So teleporting to the island, we're finally here, and you have two sections you can actually grind for XP. You have this section right over here on the left side, and then you have this whole right side to grind XP. Now, keep in mind, the more people that are within your server, the more enemy spawns that are going to be in here. Now, each kill will give you about 70,000 XP. So that's just for me personally. I don't know if that XP is different for anybody else, if it's higher or if it's lower, but just keep in mind, if you have a party, the more people that you have in your party, the more your XP will go up just by a little bit. So keep that in mind if you want to get some higher XP, that you guys have a party or have friends there with you, because it will increase your XP intake. So overall, this area is okay, but if you tend to go to a dead server, you're not going to get that many spawn-ins. Clearly, as you guys can tell on my screen right now, this is a very somewhat empty server, and this area could be very unforgiving towards people who are literally just coming back into the game. So just make sure that you guys are steady on your feet and kind of prepare for yourselves, because if you die, you do get a penalty now. You lose XP and you lose some of your silver. So make sure you guys are well equipped with potions and just try not to die, because this area is very difficult if you're not careful. So just kind of be prepared to die a couple of times here and there. Another area that I do sometimes like coming to, because of how crazy it can get sometimes, is the sewers. So the sewers is somewhat of a nostalgic place for me, because this is an area where I would normally used to go to grind for XP, and it's honestly changed. The layout's changed, guys, so just kind of remember, if you're coming back again, like I've been saying, you know, for the very first time in a couple of months, the sewer layout has changed. So make sure you're paying attention to where I'll be heading over here in a second, because it can get really confusing if you're going down this path. Because before, it used to just go down the little well thing, open a door, and bam, you're in the sewers. It's kind of not like that anymore. So bear with me while we go down this journey together. So you're gonna enter through this area here. You're gonna be exiting a pipe. You're gonna take a quick left and enter through another pipe. Next, you're going to want to do this step because if you don't, you're not gonna have a good time in the sewers. Make sure you enter your door through the right, pick up the lamp, and there's going to be some enemies here. So if they're there, just kind of go ahead and grind for those. And then you're going to be heading down a little pathway which will lead you to the main part of the sewers, which is honestly really fun. So as you can tell, each kill will give you about 10,000 or so, and depending on, I guess, if somebody's already hit it or not, if nobody's hit the enemy already, then you'll get around 14,000 XP to 13,000. So you'll get above 10,000 XP per kill. So I kind of did the math down here, guys. So the spawn-ins for the enemies down here, you always have a lot of people down in this section. So for every 10 enemies that you kill, you're guaranteed to get around 100,000 XP. So as you can tell, I know it's lagging on my screen right now, but for a huge group, if you are a somewhat of an okay level, like let's say you're level 30 and up, you should be able to take down these enemies within a couple of hits. So if you're grinding for level 49 and let's say you're level 40, you should be totally fine down here. I'm gonna be honest, I've done a nice portion of my XP grinding down in the sewers, and it's actually really fun. Not only do you get like all these items down here, but you don't have to worry about going around hoping that the enemy spawns are highly active, because there's always people down here. So the more people you have in your party, like I've said before, just make sure you invite people. Just try not to invite people too fast like I am, because I obviously didn't read where it said. I'm sending invites a little too fast. So just kind of invite people. If you are invited into parties, don't be afraid, don't feel intimidated because you feel like, oh man, I don't think anybody's gonna want my low level butt in their party. Just kind of invite people, because the more people you invite, the higher XP that you will get. So the sewers are my personal favorite just because of the fact there's a lot of enemy spawns in here, so it feels like it's going by a lot more quicker. It could cancel out because, like, hey, for every 10 kills you get 100,000. Some people would argue saying that certain areas probably would give you more XP, but I just feel like for some reason it could be a placebo effect, making it seem like you get more XP down here, but I enjoy it thoroughly down here anyway, so that's just my personal opinion on just XP grinding. This is one of my favorite spots to grind in, and it will always be. Now, another area that you can go to, but I highly encourage you, 100%, you will not be able to get to this area if you do not have a really high level party group with you. So you're going to be heading over to something called the Gauntlet. The Gauntlet is actually located somewhere near the hunter base. So when you are headed down to that area, make sure you have people with you that will be able to clear the Gauntlet to begin with, because you won't be able to pass this area without them, because you will die. It's guaranteed you will die as a level 30 player. So once you get over to the Gauntlet, you're going to be heading over towards something called the Whispering Dunes. Now, technically, you're not supposed to be in this area as a level 30, but if you are able to make it into this area and you survive, holy moly, this area is holy for grinding XP, but it is also a very unforgiving location if you're not very careful. So this area is very, very vast. It's big. It's a large map, so it's very easy to get lost. So going through the Whispering Dunes, you have about four enemies within this area. You have scorpions, you have these giant dust worms, you have bandits, and you have poisonous scorpions. So each one is going to start off at different levels. The scorpions start off at level 35. The bandits are around level, I believe, 40. The dust worms are around level 40, and the poisonous scorpions, I believe, are level 45. If not, they're somewhere around there. There's nothing in this area that's like level 49, but you also have a giant scarab that's also, you know, random within servers. You'll see that. And as the level that I am currently right now, a level 47 warrior, it is actually impossible for me to take it down because at some point it takes flight and it's really hard to hit. So you'll be introduced to this little pit down here, and sometimes you'll see a lot of scorpions kind of spawn down here. So as you can tell right now, this is perfect for you just XP grinding if you can take all these going on. So this gives you about 80,000 XP per kill. So if you have like a whole bunch of them just spawning in like this is fabulous. This is just great. This is a great spawn in for anybody who's just currently, you know, just XP grinding. Now, if you're level 30 and you're just starting off this game, you're probably gonna die down here. You're probably gonna die. You could probably take down one scorpion at a time, but just kind of be careful. If you have a cleric on your party, just make sure that you have a couple, so if you die, you're revived again, because you don't want to get penalized. You don't want to get penalized to die, so that's not fun. So just kind of take this with a grain of salt, guys. Just know if you are lower than your level, suggestion down here, like if you're level 30 and you're just coming into this area, just kind of be prepared to know that you will die down here, and you know, you just kind of have to accept the fact. If you're level 35, you should be okay with the scorpions, but anything lower than that, you kind of have to mentally prepare yourself that you're gonna die down here. You're just gonna die. On top of that, you're also going to be introduced to something called drought. So let's say you're running through the desert, right? Your stamina bar is going to be reduced by water intake. So if you're not drinking water, if you're not going into the water oases that you see in the game, or eating cactus fruit, or better yet, if you do not have the water barrel item equipped for your character, you're going to lose water and you're going to lose health eventually once that bar goes out. And the worm pit is actually pretty awesome. If you could find a server that has somewhat of a small amount of people but not too many people that are in this area, this area is actually really good for anybody who's trying to finalize their final levels to being level 49. So I'm finalizing all of my XP in this section here, mainly because of the fact that I get around 120,000 XP per worm kill, which is awesome because every 10 worms you get about 1,000,000 XP. And considering the fact that you definitely need millions and millions and millions of XP to get to the next level, this area here is just phenomenal. So I enjoy thoroughly just kind of finalizing all of my XP down in this area. So I'm just going to be staying down here for a good while until I hit level 49. So finalizing, guys, it just depends on where you go. For me personally, I prefer the worm pits to finalize all of my XP, but if I want to spice things up a little bit, I like to go down to fight some scorpions sometimes. I like to fight bandits sometimes, but to finalize all of my XP being the level that I'm currently at, the worm pit just seems to do it for me. So this is definitely just me. I could go to like the little tiki island, but it is just too annoying for me to go through that whole process to get to the tiki island, to just leave maybe 5 minutes later because I got bored. Staying down in the worm pits is fun, but the dunes overall is just a lot more entertaining to me because at some point, if I get bored of the worm pits, I can move over to the bandits. If I get bored of the bandits, I can move over to the scorpions and the poisonous scorpions. Just remember, like I said, keep in mind, you see the health bars being reduced by no water intake, and I think my thing actually glitched out, so sometimes your bar will glitch out. To fix this, you can actually move servers. So if you have a stamina bar that's not being, you know, if it's not going up, just switch servers or leave the game to rejoin the game, so there's no penalty to do that. So as long as you don't die, you should be fine. So hopefully this works for everybody. Just keep in mind, if you are grinding for XP, to just not go into areas that you feel like you're not ready to go into. I know for a fact I wasn't ready to fight dustworms by myself until I hit level 38 or 39, and I wasn't ready to fight bandits by myself until like level 40. So that was just kind of like me just doing it from experience. So anybody who's a warrior, please just kind of be prepared to die a lot in certain areas if you're not careful. Can't say anything else for the other classes because I don't play other classes, so anybody else here who plays as a mage or a hunter, you could go ahead and leave your comments down below to help your other fellow rogues and your fellow mages so they can understand, hey, you might not want to do this as a specific class. Till then, I will see you guys in the next video. I am out, and bye everybody!